liftoff of...
Sorry to keep you waiting, but it's finally time we talk about some Hajime no Ippo. It couldn't have been that long, right?
Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry.
Hajime no Ippo, the story of Makunouchi Ippo and his career as a boxer. To answer the question, what does it mean to be strong? Basically, anybody who's had the strength to read past this. On April 18th, 2003, Studio Madhouse blessed out-of-shape boxing fans with Champions Road. This 90-minute movie covers chapters 290 through 314.
Out of 1,393 and still going to this very day.
For the longest time, I never really bothered to even watch this movie. Not sure why, to be honest, but it's finally time we check it out.
So get that PhD, do some road work, and be prepared for your date to go horribly as we defend our title in Champions Road, the first step.
Christ! Fuji will back off! Are we missing something? I feel like this is the last 20 minutes of the movie.
The movie starts off strong with the reanimation of Ippo versus my sweet summer child Sendo. God, I love him. For the Japanese featherweight title. The original was already really good, spanning 6 episodes that had enough emotional buildup to get you invested on both sides. This fight was intense, adrenaline pumping, and edge of your seat action with no time to breathe, eventually culminating in a great end to the season. This movie takes that fight, cuts off a piece, and sprinkles some good old Sakuga. Keep in mind, this is 2003, and it still holds up. Sendo goes in for a killer smash right to the facial region of the body. Ippo manages to dodge and hits the Naniwa Tiger with the 1-2 buckle my shoe 12-piece Dempsey roll combo wombo with extra cheese and a large drink, winning the fight. And so now, Ippo has claimed the title as the featherweight champion of Japan. The next day, we start off just like we always do, with Ippo helping his mom out with the fishing business. Nice. Afterwards, everyone celebrates Ippo's victory on his birthday.
Do you know how much that would have sucked if Ippo got his ass kicked on his birthday? Right, James?
Ippo talks to the love interest of the series, Kumi, who gives him a gift.
This is for me?
Yeah, she literally just said so.
Just hope you're really going to like it.
Oh, is it really for me?
Who else is it for? Anyone else here? The Japanese featherweight champion named Makunouchi Ippo, born November 23rd, 1973? No? Okay, so take the fucking gift!
And you won't tell me to give it back later?
We're only 10 minutes in.
Ippo sports his new digs he got from his main hoe and does some road work. During this, he thinks back to his journey as a boxer. It all started when Takamura told Ippo that if he wants to learn how to box, he must be able to grab 10 leaves in 1 week.
So you're telling me, all I gotta do is catch 10 leaves and I can learn how to box? For free? This is way too much. I'll just pay for the actual lessons instead.
Later in his run, we meet back up with Ippo's rival, Miyata. Miyata simply reminds Ippo of their promise to fight in the ring someday. Back at the old Kamigawa gym, the boys sweat it up. Kamigawa gets a call from his old buddy Nakota about a certain someone coming back from Mexico. This is Donkichi Hama, Kamigawa's boxing rival from post-World War II. Also, I gotta be honest, I had no idea these two were the same person. Donkichi came to tell Kamigawa that he's found a boxer that will challenge Ippo for the belt, marking his first title defense as the champion. The next day, or maybe the same day, I don't know, I can't read Japanese. Mari, the boxing reporter, goes to interview Ippo's opponent about his strategy for winning the belt. This is Kazuki Sanada.
That's the Japanese junior featherweight champion who successfully defended his title 5 times.
the former junior featherweight champion who's also working towards a doctorate in medicine. He's handsome, smart, and jacked. Fellas, we stand no chance. Mr. Steal Yo Girl has entered the chat. Sanada is a very simple, well-to-do man. Even though he was kind of forced by his dad to become a doctor, he still enjoys it regardless, but wants to differentiate himself by also taking up boxing. He simply has his own goals of wanting to become a doctor that can help and relieve people of their anxiety. He simply does boxing for the love of the sport and to test how far he can go physically, which is why he moved up a weight class to challenge Ippo.
I love this about Hajime no Ippo compared to other shonen anime. There's literally no villain.
Okay, most of the time. They are less villains and more rivals. Characters just living their daily lives, trying to achieve their dreams, either for their own benefit or for the benefit of others. No world domination or convoluted goals, just simple sportsmanship.
I also know how to use it to my advantage to break down the human body.
This guy isn't your average rich kid.
And that was the last thing she said before she was brutally murdered by a man of medicine. I'll miss her dearly.
A few days later, when the boys are training, Takamura finally explains the elephant in the room and my least favorite part of this series. Why have Ippo and Kumi not boned yet? I swear to God, it's making me want to shotgun my brains out. At this point, they've known each other for about 2 to 3 years. It's very obvious that they both like each other, but neither side is taking the initiative to advance the relationship. So the Kamigawa gang force Ippo to grow a pair in a good old arm wrestling match. If Ippo loses to either Kimura, Aoki, or fan favorite Goto,
I've never seen this man in my life.
then Ippo has to ask out Kumi tomorrow. Ippo easily takes down Kimura and Aoki. Things aren't looking too good for the boys, as all that's left is Goto, no! Takamura kindly takes Goto's place and arm wrestles Ippo. The match is close, as Ippo is determined to not ask out the girl he likes. That's the dumbest shit I've ever said. Unfortunately for Ippo, Takamura wins. You're damn right he did! So now Ippo has to tell Kumi he likes her. Boo-hoo! Ippo and Kumi get some grub. It begins to snow, so they hang out at the park with best boy Wampo.
Okay, Ippo. You've got this. The scene is set. This is your best chance. I understand you're scared. It's okay. We've all been there. You fought many life or death matches and came out on top. This will be easy. Just take a deep breath and tell her you like her.
I have this match coming up, and well, I'd really like it if you were there to cheer me on.
I can't do this anymore, Quay.
Come on, dude, you got this.
No, I can't.
You're halfway done.
You have to understand.
Just
You have to understand that it's really hard to do a review when your main protagonist is an absolute beta male couple.
Naturally, things go horribly when Ippo assumes Kumi and the other nurses are gonna cheer for Sanada instead, and so she leaves blue-balled. Then, our poor boy sits alone in the snow. Also, I just want to mention that in the manga, Takamura gave Ippo a voice recorder so they could verify if he asked out Kumi or not. And when he, listens to the tape alone, let's just say it's a good thing this was cut from the movie. The next morning, Ippo gets back into gear and trains for his upcoming match. Everyone is rooting for Ippo to bring home another victory. Ippo's mom and Umezawa give the champion a gift: the iconic red shorts and shoes, with stars on the trunks to represent his kill count. The night before the match, Sanada heads home from the gym and oh god!
I'm so sorry about your daughter, coach, but she can't just be sneaking up on a boxer like she's fucking Batman.
Ippo is unable to sleep, letting the pressure of his first title defense get to him, feeling like he can't let his friends or past rivals down and must win no matter what. Meanwhile, Sanada just chills and plays some games. Absolute mad lad, I tell you. Morning arrives, and it seems like Ippo didn't sleep at all. With fake confidence and hesitation, he declares to Umezawa that he'll win the match for sure and heads out.
I hate to put a damper on things.
I'm afraid he might end up losing the fight.
You know how messed up that'd be if you're gonna fight someone and your mom is just like, yeah, my son is finna get his ass whooped. Like, yo, mom!
Ippo enters the arena with a roar of adoring fans, all counting on him. The heavy burden of being champion is starting to get to him. They exchange gloves, and the battle begins.
I can't get hit by the first punch. What? Did I take a punch?
I feel like you would know if someone punched you in the face. But I mean, hey, I'm not the Japanese featherweight champion, so fuck do I know?
Sanada's strategy is the hien, a barrage of left jabs that come in all directions by rotating the wrist. Basically, it's just a less flashy and probably more realistic flicker jab. Sanada also uses his knowledge of anatomy to know the most effective ways to take someone down. These two together make him a formidable enemy, and he still has one more trick up his sleeve. The first round goes to Sanada, but Ippo clears his head and uses his finisher, the Dempsey roll. Damn it!
It looked rough, but Takeshi Sendo taught us the most rational way to stop it.
Season 3 begs to differ.
As Ippo blocks the hien, Sanada shows off his final trump card, the Subemi? Ubamegesi? That. The Tsubame Gaishi is a double right uppercut. The first uppercut is meant to loosen the opponent's guard and lead them into a false sense of security. The second uppercut is aimed. After another unsuccessful round, round 3 is when Ippo makes his comeback, perfectly blocking the hien and actually landing a few punches on Sanada. In the fourth round, Sanada does that annoying bullshit your friends would do in fighting games where he just keeps spamming body blow after body blow to Ippo's stomach, and it's honestly really impressive he hasn't shat himself at this point.
Please slap me or hit me or do anything to take me out of it.
I'm starting to think all this boxing might have unlocked some weird fetish for Ippo.
Round 5 is the decisive bout. Ippo comes in swinging, and before Sanada can even regroup, Ippo unleashes the Dempsey roll. Sanada manages to counter the Dempsey roll again, but Ippo hits him with the same combo he used to defeat Sendo. It's funny, you'd think for someone so smart and who's watched that match, he'd avoid getting his ass whooped by the same technique. Ippo lands his final Dempsey roll out of desperation and complete exhaustion. If this doesn't work, then he's guaranteed to lose.
Sanada, get out of there!
How? You can't just problem solved. I swear, these characters are really stupid sometimes. Another thing I just love about Hajime no Ippo is that they do a great job of just conveying how strong a character is through the animation, the sound effects, and the use of slow motion. Cause oh my lord, that looks like it hurts. Realistically, if you got punched by that, I feel it'd be more like
fatality.
Ippo stops the Dempsey roll, but Sanada is still alive. Completely drained and exhausted, Ippo does his best to muster up the strength to throw one last punch. Yep, he's fucked. Sanada goes in for the kill, completely confident that he's won the belt. But he accidentally slips on a banana peel and falls on the mat. The ref comes in to check on Sanada, then stops the fight. Ippo has won and reclaims his belt as the Japanese featherweight champion. 14 matches, 13 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss. A while later, Sanada tells Dankichi that he's gonna retire from boxing to further his medical career and become a doctor. Mari barges into Sanada's room about Ippo, as it seems like something might be seriously wrong with him.
He's all right. He should be fine. I believe he's merely in a deep sleep due to extreme fatigue.
oh really? Any idea what might have caused that, Doc? Also, I just love how they have the audacity to ask Sanada to come check in on the guy who just kicked his ass like 5 minutes ago.
Once Ippo recovers, he goes out fishing with Kumi while the boys stalk him, cause they've got nothing better to do. Business as usual with the Kamigawa gang. The end.
And that was the end of Champions Road. I gotta say, I loved it. I can't believe it took me literal years to finally watch it, but
I'm glad I did. Not every story needs to be super high stakes to be enjoyable, and this movie proves that. Just a show about dudes and their love and devotion to boxing. It's great. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!